Hello there and welcome to the Sleepy Midnight Theory. Crescent moon tonight, we drift into the calm, colorful world of chameleons, creatures that change with the rhythm of the forest. Lizard, their stillness, their colors, their quiet grace, all tell stories of patience and transformation. So close your eyes, breathe slowly, and let's explore 100 sleepy facts about chameleons, one color, one dream at a time. Herb sparkles as the forest hushes into night. The chameleon becomes part of the air itself. Its body clings gently to a branch, tail curled like a question mark, eyes drifting in two directions at once. One eye watches the moonlight shimmering through the leaves, while the other quietly guards the darkness behind. Its skin, covered in tiny crystal-like cells, hums softly beneath the surface, catching fragments of starlight and bending them into emerald, gold, or silver. No other creature holds color like this, alive, breathing, emotional. Its changes aren't just camouflage, they are language, feeling, thought. When the chameleon feels calm, it turns a soft green, the color of peace. When it feels threatened, streaks of orange and red ripple across its skin, a whisper of warning. And when it feels love or challenge, it glows in shades so deep they seem almost unreal. Everything about this creature is patience. Its world moves slowly, its body swaying to mimic the gentle sway of the branches. Even the smallest step is measured, delicate, deliberate. To watch it move is to witness stillness in motion, a dance that never disturbs the wind. When it hunts, time itself seems to pause. The chameleon locks both eyes on a tiny insect, its tongue coiling beneath its jaw like a hidden spring. Then, faster than lightning, the tongue shoots out, sticky and sure, striking with perfect accuracy. In a blink, the meal disappears and the forest returns to silence. There is no violence in it, no waste, only balance. This is how the chameleon lives, in quiet partnership with its surroundings. It doesn't chase, doesn't hurry, doesn't fight. It trusts its world to bring what it needs. In this patient rhythm lies its secret to survival. For millions of years, chameleons have followed this same pattern, watching, waiting, blending. They walked through the same forests that dinosaurs once wandered, and when the earth changed, they changed too. Some grew small enough to hide beneath a leaf. Others grew large enough to rest like sleeping dragons across wide branches. Each one learned to match the light, the heat, the color of its home. And still today, they thrive, quiet, secret, ancient. The Living Rainbows is a 2-hour script that begins with the calm after a heavy storm, when sunlight slowly breaks through the clouds and a bright arc of colors appears across the sky. The story introduces the beauty of rainbows and explains the science behind them, describing how light bends and reflects through raindrops to create the 7 visible colors. Each color represents a unique emotion and meaning: red for passion, orange for creativity, yellow for joy, green for balance, blue for peace, indigo for intuition, and violet for wisdom. The script then explores how rainbows have been viewed across cultures, from ancient myths to modern beliefs, including their presence in Norse legends, Hawaiian traditions, and biblical stories. At night, when even the insects still their wings, the chameleon rests. It chooses a branch thin enough that predators can't reach, curling its tail around it in a perfect spiral. Its colors fade to pale hues, gentle blues, silvers, sometimes soft white. Under moonlight, a faint glow appears along its spine, almost invisible, yet real. Some scientists believe chameleons glow because of the special proteins in their skin that react to ultraviolet light. Others think it is simply nature's poetry, a hidden beauty for the night to admire. As they sleep, their breathing slows, their eyes close beneath thin, translucent lids, and their hearts beat steady and soft. The forest hums around them, a lullaby of stillness. When morning comes, light trickles through the leaves and the chameleon wakes slowly, stretching its limbs and adjusting its colors to greet the dawn. Its eyes blink open, moving separately at first, then aligning in perfect focus as it surveys its world. Every day is new, every moment different. The same branch, the same air, but a new pattern of sunlight, a new shade to blend into. This endless dance of change defines them. Even the tiniest chameleon knows instinctively how to shift, how to survive, how to stay invisible until it wants to be seen. They are born without parents to guide them, Tiny eggs, buried in soil or hidden in tree bark, hatch quietly after weeks of warmth. The hatchlings, no bigger than a fingernail, emerge fully formed, already capable of climbing, blending, and hunting. Within hours, they disappear into the foliage, living alone from their first breath. There is no fear in them, only purpose. They are creatures of instinct and independence, soft-bodied survivors born to adapt. For those who watch them, chameleons seem otherworldly. Their eyes, moving in different directions, can see almost everything around them. Each eye has its own control, yet when they hunt, both focus together on a single point, locking perfectly in line. It's as if two minds share one heartbeat. They see not only movement but also the depth and distance of light, giving them vision sharper than most birds. To be a chameleon is to see all sides of life, the front, the back, and the space between. Their colors are not just for disguise but for communication. Males use bright shades to attract females or to warn rivals. Females change color to show if they are ready to mate or to tell others to stay away. Even their moods, contentment, stress, curiosity flicker across their skin like gentle waves of emotion. Every hue is a sentence. Every pattern is a story. In a single breath, a chameleon can turn from calm ocean green to the warm fire of sunset. Legends say that the chameleon was once the messenger of the gods, chosen for its patience and its color. But the tale tells that it moved too slowly to deliver a message of immortality to humans, and so death came first. From then on, the chameleon became the keeper of change, forever carrying the lesson that even the slowest beings shape the course of the world. There is wisdom in slowness, grace in patience. To rush is to miss the rhythm of the universe. Not every chameleon lives in the forest. Some make their homes in rocky mountains, misty highlands, and hot deserts. In Madagascar, where more species live than anywhere else, they cling to twigs and stones, turning shades of rust and sand. In the Middle East, they walk through dry bushes, blending with thorns. On African coasts, they climb low shrubs where sea winds cool their scales. No matter the place, the chameleon belongs. It never forces itself to fit. It simply becomes what the world already is. Their tails, curled tight like the spirals of galaxies, serve as anchors. They wrap them around branches as they move, balancing body and spirit alike. Their hands, shaped with two fingers on each side, grip with care, never rushing, never slipping. To watch one climb is to see patience sculpted into motion. Even their steps sway softly, imitating the movement of leaves so predators cannot tell the difference. This is camouflage not as trickery, but as art. In every ecosystem they touch, chameleons bring quiet balance. They eat the insects that would otherwise overrun plants and flowers, keeping the forest healthy. In this way, they are guardians, silent and essential. Even when unseen, they shape life. Every flutter of their tongue, every still hour they spend watching, keeps the circle of nature in motion. Their existence is a meditation on change. Inside their skin, tiny nanocrystals shift and realign, refracting light into rainbows. No two moments look the same, and no two chameleons shine alike. The physics of their color mirrors the philosophy of their life. Change is not an act of fear, but of harmony. To adapt is to stay alive. To stay alive is to flow. They are among Earth's oldest artists, carrying a legacy of 60 million years. When the dinosaurs vanished, they remained, hidden in branches, surviving through silence. They've seen the continents drift and the climates shift, yet here they are breathing slowly, watching the same stars we do. Their endurance is not built on strength, but on serenity. And as the night deepens again, the chameleon closes its eyes. Its heartbeat slows to the rhythm of the forest, matching the hush of the wind. Its colors dim, fading into the silver of moonlight. The stars glimmer above, reflected faintly on its back. It has no worries, no haste, no noise. Only the quiet understanding that life is a cycle, waking, changing, resting, and beginning again. Not all of them live in lush rainforests. Some wander the warm sands of deserts, basking in the sleepy heat. During the day, they dig small holes to cool themselves, and at night, the desert wind hums them to sleep. Their colors blend perfectly with golden dunes and silver moonlight, like dust made alive. Whether in forest or desert, they adapt with grace, adjusting not only to survive but to belong. Across the world, there are more than 200 known species of chameleons. Some are so small they can sit comfortably on a match head, like the Brocasia micra. Others, like the Parsons chameleon, can grow up to 2 feet long. Each one is unique, a brushstroke in nature's living artwork. No two are ever the same, just as no two dreams are identical. Chameleons also play a quiet, vital role in the balance of nature. They eat insects that threaten plants, keeping ecosystems calm and stable. Even in stillness, they serve their surroundings. Their camouflage protects not only themselves but the harmony of the forest around them. The world breathes easier under their silent watch. Their ability to change color comes from an extraordinary secret beneath their skin. Inside are tiny nanocrystals that reflect and bend light, forming every possible hue. When calm, those crystals sit close together, making the chameleon appear peaceful green. When excited or alert, the crystals spread apart, bursting into bright yellows, reds, and blues. Their skin is emotion made visible, a perfect reflection of inner feeling. These creatures are ancient survivors. Chameleons have existed for more than 60 million years. They've watched the rise and fall of species, the shifting of forests, and the fatting of dinosaurs. They've adapted, evolved, and endured every change the Earth has offered. Within their slow heartbeat lies the patience of the past, a living reminder that survival belongs to those who move with the rhythm of change. At night, chameleons sleep faithfully, returning to the same branches again and again. As they rest, their colors soften, their breathing slows, and their tails curl into perfect spirals. Even in sleep, balance never leaves them. They remind us that peace is not a place, but a posture, a way of being still in a world that never stops moving. Their beauty depends entirely on light. As the morning sun rises, they shimmer with emerald greens. In the soft dusk, they shift to bronze and deep blue. Under moonlight, they fade into pale silver. Each hour paints them differently, a reminder that change is constant and that every moment holds a new dream. Chameleons spend more time watching than doing. Their eyes, capable of moving independently, observe the world in all directions. They rarely rush. They remind us to see before we react, to move only when it feels right. Their stillness isn't laziness, it's wisdom. They live one calm heartbeat at a time, savoring the slow pace of life. When danger passes through the trees, they trust their camouflage completely. They move with the wind, matching the sway of leaves so perfectly that predators pass them by. Some even mimic the shimmer of dew. They are illusions made real, a secret the forest keeps hidden. To see one is a rare kind of magic, a gentle blessing from nature itself. Chameleons are hunters but never chasers. They wait, patient and poised, letting the world come to them. When the moment feels right, they strike with quiet precision. Their patience is their strength, and their calm is their weapon. Even hunger cannot hurry them. They are a living lesson in stillness, in trust, in timing. Through poetic narration, it connects these cultural meanings with the human journey, showing how the rainbow becomes a symbol of hope, renewal, and unity. The middle of the film transitions to nature's role in forming rainbows, showing landscapes of rain and sunlight blending over mountains, oceans, and forests, accompanied by gentle music and reflective dialogue. The closing narration reflects that rainbows remind us that light follows darkness, hope follows pain, and that we, as living rainbows, hold within us the power to shine through every storm with love, harmony, and strength. The slow dancers of the trees asterisk begins in the early morning light of a forest, where mist rises from the earth and trees stand tall, their branches swaying gently in the breeze. The story explores the slow, graceful movements of trees, emphasizing their role as living beings that communicate, grow, and adapt to the world around them, how they absorb carbon, and their importance in the global ecosystem. The narrative expands into the spiritual and symbolic significance of trees in various cultures, where they are revered as symbols of wisdom, strength, and life. Trees such as the ancient oak, the sacred banyan, and the towering sequoia represent time, endurance, and connection to the earth. The script also looks at how different species of trees change with the seasons, bursting into life in spring, thriving in summer, shedding leaves in autumn, and standing bare but resolute in winter, each phase mirroring the cycle of life. Personal stories from individuals who have formed lifelong bonds with trees provide emotional depth, showcasing the human connection to nature. Eyes of Infinity opens with a view of the cosmos, capturing the vastness of the universe, from distant stars to swirling galaxies, hinting at the mysteries that lie beyond our understanding. The script explores the concept of infinity, both in the physical universe and in the abstract, using the eyes of infinity as a metaphor for seeking deeper truths beyond the visible world. It begins with the latest scientific discoveries, black holes, dark matter, and the expansion of space, showing how scientists push the boundaries of knowledge using telescopes and particle accelerators. The narrative then transitions into philosophical and spiritual interpretations of infinity, touching on ancient beliefs, Eastern philosophies, and Western scientific thought, demonstrating how infinity has fascinated humanity across cultures. Personal stories highlight how the pursuit of the infinite, whether through stargazing, meditation, or scientific inquiry, can evoke profound shifts in perception. The script delves into the nature of time and consciousness, asking how these concepts relate to infinity and whether humans can truly comprehend the infinite scale of the cosmos. As the journey progresses, it examines the intersection of science, philosophy, and human curiosity, illustrating how each discovery, no matter how small, opens up new possibilities for understanding our place in the universe. Masters of Stillness unfolds with an intimate portrait of the chameleon, focusing on its ability to stay motionless for hours, blending seamlessly into its environment. The script begins by observing a chameleon perched on a branch, its eyes slowly swiveling, and its body perfectly still, allowing it to merge with the surrounding leaves and branches. The narrative explores the evolutionary advantage of this stillness, how chameleons have adapted to their environment, using camouflage as a defense mechanism against predators. The script delves into the biology behind their stillness, from their unique physiology, such as their independent eye movement, to the slow, deliberate movements of their body, and how these traits help them survive in the wild. The film transitions to the broader theme of stillness in nature, comparing the chameleon's quiet strategy with other animals that rely on patience and subtlety for survival. It looks at how different creatures, like the sloth or the owl, use stillness in various ways to hunt, protect themselves, or conserve energy. The narrative expands into the metaphorical significance of stillness, discussing how silence and patience often offer a deeper kind of strength and resilience. Personal stories are interwoven throughout, showing people who have found wisdom in stillness, from a meditative practitioner learning to embrace inner silence to a wildlife photographer capturing moments of stillness in the animal kingdom. The script then moves into philosophical and spiritual reflections on the power of quietude, exploring how stillness is not only a survival mechanism, but a path to clarity, peace, and insight. As the film progresses, it ties the chameleon's lesson of stillness to human experiences. How, in moments of overwhelm or chaos, we can learn to quiet our minds and embrace the present. The latter half of the film shifts focus to the importance of slowing down in today's fast-paced world, illustrating the health benefits of mindfulness, rest, and taking moments of pause. The closing scenes bring the audience back to the forest, where the chameleon, now resting peacefully, demonstrates how stillness offers the freedom to simply exist in harmony with the world. Whispers of Light opens with the first light of dawn slowly breaking over a tranquil landscape, casting golden rays across the world as night gives way to day. The script delves into the nature of light, explaining its duality as both a particle and a wave, using stunning visuals of light traveling through space, bending around planets, and creating color as it interacts with the atmosphere. The narrative explores light's role in shaping the world around us, from the warmth of the sun that nourishes life to the flicker of fireflies lighting up the night, creating an enchanting world of bioluminescence. The story moves through history, showing how humanity has harnessed light, from the discovery of fire to the invention of the electric bulb and the rise of technologies like fiber optics and lasers, which revolutionize how we communicate and power our world. The script also reflects on how light has been a symbol of knowledge and enlightenment across cultures and spiritual practices, showing how people have sought to understand light not only as a physical phenomenon, but as a metaphor for wisdom and guidance. Interspersed with personal stories, it captures moments where light has had a profound impact on individuals, whether it's a scientist uncovering a new discovery under a microscope, a traveler gazing at the aurora borealis, or a person finding clarity during a moment of solitude in nature. As the narrative unfolds, the focus shifts to the darker side of light, exploring the growing problem of light pollution, the loss of natural night skies, and the environmental toll of artificial lighting on ecosystems. It emphasizes the importance of preserving darkness as a vital part of the natural world, and how the overabundance of light can disconnect us from our surroundings. The script then shifts into the future, looking at sustainable innovations in lighting, such as energy-efficient solutions and renewable light sources, and how these can help restore balance between progress and nature. As the film nears its conclusion, it returns to the human experience, reflecting on how light, whether in moments of discovery, creation, or simply in the beauty of a sunrise, guides us through life, offering hope, insight, and inspiration. Rest is often misunderstood in today's fast-paced world, where we are conditioned to prioritize constant productivity and hustle over recovery. But understanding the rhythm of rest is essential for our well-being. Rest is not simply about sleep. It's about taking intentional breaks, nourishing the mind and body, and creating a balance between work and relaxation. This session will explore the science of rest, its crucial role in maintaining mental and physical health, and how to integrate restorative practices into daily life. We will begin by understanding how the body responds to rest, highlighting the importance of sleep cycles and how they impact brain function, emotional stability, and physical health. Next, we'll delve into the effect modern life, especially technology and social media, has on our ability to rest effectively, and how overstimulation and constant connectivity disrupt our natural rhythms. We will also examine the different forms of rest beyond sleep, such as active rest through meditation, mindfulness, and light physical activities like yoga or walking, which help balance the nervous system and reduce stress. After that, we'll discuss how to create a personal routine for rest, emphasizing the importance of boundaries, regular breaks, and prioritizing self-care, while exploring common barriers to rest, such as guilt, societal pressures, and misconceptions about productivity. Finally, we will reflect on practical strategies for overcoming these challenges, design actionable rest plans, and share tips for making rest a non-negotiable part of daily life. Throughout the session, there will be time for questions, personal reflections, and discussions on how to integrate the rhythm of rest into individual lifestyles for lasting impact. Chameleons, one of nature's most fascinating creatures, have been survivors for over 60 million years, adapting through periods of great change and upheaval, witnessing the rise and fall of empires, the extinction of dinosaurs, and the shifting of entire ecosystems. In this session, we will explore the remarkable resilience and endurance of chameleons, drawing lessons from their evolutionary history to understand the broader concept of survival. Starting with the chameleon's origins, we'll examine how these reptiles evolved in response to their environments, adapting their physical traits, such as color-changing abilities, specialized feet, and prehensile tails, to survive in changing climates and ecosystems. We will explore how chameleons have lived through shifting landscapes, from lush jungles to arid deserts, and how their survival is a testament to the power of small, incremental adaptations over time. Additionally, we will look at other ancient species that share similar survival traits, such as crocodiles, sharks, and certain plants, highlighting how their survival mechanisms have allowed them to endure through mass extinctions and dramatic shifts in Earth's atmosphere. Throughout the session, we will discuss the importance of patience and resilience, reflecting on how nature's slow lessons in endurance, much like the chameleon's deliberate and careful changes, offer insight into how we, too, can adapt to today's challenges, whether personal, societal, or environmental. We will delve into how modern humans are facing their own period of intense change, climate change, technological advancements, and social shifts, and how the chameleon's survival instincts offer inspiration for adapting with grace and wisdom. Drawing parallels between the natural world's survival strategies and human resilience, we will reflect on the concept of endurance, both in nature and in our own lives, examining how we can cultivate patience, adaptability, and long-term vision to thrive in the face of adversity. Finally, the session will conclude with a reflection on the enduring presence of ancient survivors in our world today, and how understanding their strategies for survival can help guide us through an uncertain future. There will also be time for questions and group discussion on how we can apply the lessons of these ancient survivors to our own lives, encouraging a deeper appreciation for the slow, steady pace of true endurance. The chameleon's ability to change color is one of nature's most fascinating and intricate phenomena, as scientists have discovered that their skin functions like a living prism, with nanocrystals adjusting to create the spectrum of colors we see. In this session, we will dive deep into the science behind this extraordinary ability, beginning with the discovery of how chameleons use specialized cells called chromatophores and nanocrystals to manipulate light and produce various hues. We will explore how these tiny nanocrystals in their skin are arranged in a way that allows for dynamic shifts in color depending on their environment and emotional state. When a chameleon is calm, the nanocrystals are packed closely together, allowing light to reflect primarily in shades of green and brown, blending seamlessly with their surroundings. However, when the chameleon is threatened or agitated, the crystals spread apart, increasing the reflection of light and creating vibrant and intense colors, such as bright oranges, reds, or yellows. This transformation is not just a physical response to stimuli, but a reflection of the chameleon's emotional state, turning their feelings into visible expressions. We will also explore how this color-changing mechanism plays a vital role in communication, whether it's to ward off predators, attract mates, or signal other chameleons in their environment. By looking at this process through the lens of biology and behavioral science, we will uncover the ways in which color is not just a passive visual trait, but an active, living expression of a creature's internal world. Drawing parallels to human emotional expression, we will discuss how colors influence our own perceptions and behaviors, from the calming effect of blues and greens to the energizing or alerting power of reds and yellows. We will also examine how modern technology, particularly in the field of biomimicry, is drawing inspiration from the chameleon's ability to change color, leading to innovations in material science, fashion, and even sustainable architecture. Through this exploration, we will reflect on the idea that the pulse of color is not just a survival mechanism for chameleons, but a fascinating lens through which we can understand the connection between emotion, perception, and adaptation. Finally, the session will include time for discussion, where we will consider how the chameleon's unique ability to reflect emotional states through color can inspire us to embrace the power of visible expression, both in our own emotional lives and in our interactions with the world around us. Chameleons, often regarded as solitary and secretive creatures, play a crucial role in maintaining the balance of ecosystems, particularly in forest environments. Their primary food source consists of insects that could otherwise damage plants and disrupt the delicate equilibrium of their habitats. In this session, we will explore the chameleon's role as an invisible guardian of the green, examining how they help regulate insect populations and contribute to the health of the forest. Starting with their diet, we will discuss the types of insects that chameleons consume, such as locusts, caterpillars, and beetles, and how these species, if left unchecked, can harm plants and crops, reduce biodiversity, and create instability in the ecosystem. By controlling these populations, chameleons act as natural pest controllers, preventing overgrazing and ensuring plant life thrives. We will delve into the concept of ecological balance, explaining how each species, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, has a unique and vital function in the web of life. Chameleons, with their stealthy nature and careful feeding habits, help maintain this balance by quietly performing their role in the background, often unnoticed by the broader ecosystem. We will also discuss how their camouflage, which allows them to blend seamlessly into their environment, not only serves to protect them from predators, but also aids in their function as ecological stewards. By remaining hidden, they avoid drawing attention to themselves while continuing to serve the greater good of the forest, ensuring that the plants and insects they interact with continue to thrive. Additionally, we will explore how chameleons' adaptive camouflage may inspire conservation efforts, as their ability to blend with their environment demonstrates the importance of preserving biodiversity and protecting habitats from destruction. As we reflect on the larger significance of their role, we will consider how chameleons embody the quiet strength of the natural world, working in stillness and silence to safeguard life around them. Their presence in the forest is a reminder that even in the most seemingly peaceful and unassuming creatures, there is a deep, interconnected purpose. The session will also highlight how other species, like the jaguar, the bee, and the wolf, similarly function as guardians of their ecosystems, working behind the scenes to maintain harmony in the natural world. Finally, we will conclude by discussing how we, too, can be guardians of our own environments, both natural and social, and how small, often unseen actions can have a profound impact on the well-being of the world around us. There will be time for discussion and reflection, encouraging participants to think about the quiet, often overlooked roles they can play in supporting the ecosystems and communities in which they live. Chameleons are a fascinating and diverse group of reptiles, with over 200 species spread across various regions, from the rainforests of Madagascar to the savannas of Africa, each species showcasing its own unique characteristics and adaptations. In this session, we will explore the incredible diversity of chameleons, from the tiniest Brocasia micra, which is so small it can comfortably sit on the head of a match, to the massive Parsons chameleon, which can grow nearly 2 feet long. We will delve into how the size and shape of each species are finely tuned to their specific habitats and survival strategies, with the smaller species often thriving in dense, low-lying vegetation, and the larger species adapting to tree-dwelling lifestyles. The differences in size among these species are not just fascinating, but also reveal how chameleons have adapted to their environments over millions of years. Smaller chameleons, like Brocasia micra, are masters of camouflage in leaf litter, blending into the forest floor with such precision that they are almost invisible, while larger species, like the Parsons chameleon, use their size and powerful prehensile tails to navigate the trees, blending in with branches and leaves to avoid predators and stalk prey. We will also examine the unique behaviors and physical features that distinguish each species, such as the length of their tongues, the number of colors they can display, and their varying types of camouflage, from the vibrant hues of the panther chameleon to the more subdued greens and browns of the veiled chameleon. This session will also explore how chameleons have evolved specialized features, such as their independently mobile eyes and their remarkable tongue extension, to give them advantages in hunting and defense. We will discuss the ecological roles these secretive creatures play in their environments, from controlling insect populations to influencing plant growth, and how each species contributes to the delicate balance of its habitat. Additionally, we will explore the conservation status of various chameleon species, some of which are endangered due to habitat loss, the pet trade, and climate change. We will highlight efforts being made to protect these extraordinary creatures and their habitats, including breeding programs and conservation initiatives in places like Madagascar. As we reflect on the secretive nature of chameleons, we will consider how these creatures, despite being somewhat elusive and rarely seen by humans, are key players in the ecosystems they inhabit, and how their unique adaptations make them both a marvel of nature and a reminder of the importance of preserving biodiversity. The session will conclude with a discussion on how these diverse chameleon species, each one a unique brushstroke in nature's grand painting, remind us of the infinite variety of life that exists on our planet, and how the smallest and most secretive species can have a profound impact on their ecosystems and the world around them. We will open the floor for questions and reflections, encouraging participants to think about the hidden wonders of the natural world that are often overlooked but crucial to the health of our planet. While many people associate chameleons with the lush, vibrant rainforests, some species have adapted to far more arid environments, thriving in the dry, heat-drenched deserts of the world. In this session, we will explore the remarkable adaptations of desert-dwelling chameleons, creatures that have learned to navigate the extremes of heat and scarcity, blending perfectly with the desert's golden sands and moonlit nights. We will begin by examining the unique chameleon species that inhabit desert regions, such as the chameleo chameleon and Furcifer australeti, and discuss how their physical features, such as their color-changing abilities and specialized scales, help them survive in such challenging conditions. Desert chameleons are adept at regulating their body temperature by using both behavioral and physiological strategies. During the scorching heat of the day, these chameleons dig shallow burrows or seek out shaded areas to cool down, keeping their bodies at a manageable temperature to avoid overheating. We will dive into the science of thermoregulation, explaining how these chameleons use their behavior, such as digging, adjusting their posture, and even slowing their movements, to conserve energy and maintain the optimal body temperature for survival. In the cooler desert nights, they emerge to hunt and bask under the moonlight, a time when the desert comes alive with a different kind of energy. The colors of desert chameleons, often muted browns, tans, and yellows, allow them to blend seamlessly with the surrounding sand and rock, making them almost invisible to both predators and prey. Their ability to change color is not only a defense mechanism, but also a strategy for hunting and navigating the extremes of their environment. As we explore their nocturnal behavior, we will reflect on the tranquility of desert nights, when the howling wind becomes a lullaby, and how these chameleons have evolved to sleep soundly in the face of harsh, ever-shifting temperatures. We will also discuss how the desert landscape presents unique challenges for these creatures, from limited water resources to fluctuating temperatures, and how chameleons have developed specialized methods for finding food and water. For instance, some species are capable of absorbing moisture from dew or condensation that forms on the surface of plants, a strategy that helps them survive in environments where water is scarce. This session will highlight the contrast between the relentless, scorching heat of the day and the cool, peaceful nights of the desert, as well as how these chameleons embody the harmony between nature's extremes. The adaptation of desert chameleons is a perfect example of the intricate balance of life in some of the planet's most unforgiving ecosystems. As we conclude, we will reflect on how the dreamy, almost surreal lives of these desert wanderers offer lessons in resilience and patience, showing us how survival in harsh conditions requires not just physical adaptations, but a deep understanding of the rhythms of the land. Finally, we will open up the discussion for questions and reflections, encouraging participants to consider the delicate balance of life in deserts and how these creatures, seemingly so quiet and still, are quietly thriving in some of the most challenging environments on Earth. Chameleons have captivated human imagination for centuries, appearing in numerous ancient African myths as mystical creatures imbued with deep symbolic meaning. In this session, we will explore how chameleons have been woven into the fabric of cultural stories, representing everything from fate and transformation to divine messages and natural signs. Starting with the role of chameleons in African mythology, we will dive into stories that describe them as messengers of the gods, sent to convey important messages or fulfill divine purposes. These myths often depict chameleons as creatures that exist between worlds, moving silently and gracefully between the realms of the gods and humans, carrying secrets and wisdom. We will also discuss how the color-changing abilities of chameleons have led to the belief that they possess the power to predict rain, a vital natural phenomenon in many African cultures. In some traditions, chameleons were believed to be able to foretell the weather by changing their colors in response to atmospheric shifts, an ability that made them seem almost prophetic. As we explore these ancient beliefs, we will reflect on how the chameleon's transformation, its capacity to shift from one color to another, symbolizes the idea of patience, renewal, and the ever-changing nature of life itself. Many cultures saw the chameleon as a symbol of personal transformation, representing the slow, deliberate process of growth and change that comes with time. In some traditions, they were even seen as an embodiment of wisdom, teaching patience by their measured movements and deliberate actions. We will explore how the chameleon's slow pace and meditative nature have influenced human interpretations of time, suggesting that time itself seems to slow when in the presence of such a patient, deliberate creature. The session will also touch on the broader symbolic meanings of the chameleon in other cultures, where it has been associated with adaptability, stealth, and survival. From their portrayal as agents of fate to their symbolic role in human transformation, we will discuss how chameleons have served as powerful metaphors for change and adaptability across cultures. Drawing parallels to modern interpretations of change, we will explore how these ancient legends and beliefs about chameleons offer timeless lessons in resilience, patience, and the power of quiet transformation. As we conclude the session, we will reflect on how the chameleon's legacy in myth and folklore speaks to the universal human experience of navigating life's transitions, from personal growth to environmental challenges. The session will also invite participants to reflect on their own personal transformations and how they might relate to the chameleon's journey. Finally, we will open the floor for discussion, allowing participants to share any personal experiences, insights, or questions about how the lessons of ancient myths continue to shape our understanding of nature, change, and fate. Chameleons, despite their quiet and elusive nature, are master communicators, using color as their primary language to convey everything from emotions to social status, and even territorial claims. In this session, we will explore how chameleons communicate through their color-changing abilities, a sophisticated form of non-verbal communication that speaks volumes without uttering a single word. We will begin by discussing how chameleons' color changes are triggered by various factors, such as emotional responses, environmental stimuli, and social interactions, and how these changes allow them to convey a range of messages. A flash of red, for example, is often a sign of aggression or anger, signaling a potential threat or challenge, while a gentle blue or green hue indicates calm, relaxation, or contentment. This color language plays an important role in chameleon behavior, particularly during encounters between males, where duels for dominance and mating rights are won not through physical combat, but through the intensity and brilliance of their color displays. Males often engage in color battles, where the most vibrant and intense color changes indicate dominance and control over territory, with the brighter, more colorful individual emerging as the winner, while the loser fades into more muted tones, signaling submission or retreat. We will also explore how this color communication extends beyond aggressive displays to encompass other social functions, such as courtship and bonding. For instance, during mating rituals, males may exhibit particularly vivid displays to attract females, with each change in hue serving as a visual cue to the female's receptiveness or interest. The nuances of color expression are an intricate form of silent dialogue, and we will reflect on how these interactions illustrate the richness of communication that occurs without sound. The session will also delve into the scientific mechanisms behind these color changes, exploring the role of chromatophores, iridophores, and guanine crystals in the chameleon's skin, which allow them to manipulate light and produce a dazzling array of colors in response to their environment and emotions. Through this, we will gain insight into the physiological processes that underlie their silent yet powerful language. We will also compare this form of communication to other species that rely on visual or chemical signaling, examining the advantages and limitations of silent communication in the animal kingdom. As we conclude, we will reflect on how the chameleon's ability to speak, through color, offers a profound lesson on the power of nonverbal communication in our own lives, emphasizing how silence can sometimes be more expressive than words. The session will open up to discussion, inviting participants to consider how we, too, communicate silently in our daily interactions, whether through body language, facial expressions, or other subtle cues, and how we can learn to better read the silent messages around us. Finally, we will reflect on the idea that even in the absence of sound, color and presence can carry meaning, and how understanding these unspoken forms of communication can deepen our connection to the natural world and each other. Chameleons are born into a world that requires immediate independence, with baby chameleons hatching fully self-sufficient, driven solely by instinct and an innate understanding of how to navigate their environment. In this session, we will explore the remarkable journey of a baby chameleon from the moment it hatches, with no parental guidance and no nest to return to, but only the world around it and the instinctual knowledge to survive. Unlike many other species, where parental care provides safety and direction, baby chameleons are thrust into the world alone, and their survival depends entirely on their ability to adapt quickly. Within minutes of hatching, these tiny creatures are already climbing their first branch, their small but dexterous bodies moving with the precision of a seasoned explorer. We will delve into the fascinating behaviors that make this rapid independence possible, including how baby chameleons are born with fully developed eyes that allow them to immediately begin scanning their environment, assessing potential threats, and finding their first meals. Each leaf, each twig, becomes a potential home, as the newborn chameleon instinctively knows how to blend into its surroundings, utilizing its color-changing ability to camouflage itself from predators. We will explore the importance of camouflage in their survival strategy, examining how the baby chameleon's ability to mimic the colors and patterns of its environment serves as its primary defense mechanism, protecting it from larger animals. This instinctual process of building a home in the immediate environment highlights the chameleon's role as a tiny architect, creating a safe space not through construction or comfort, but through the strategic use of nature itself. The session will also touch on the broader theme of courage in the face of uncertainty, as these young creatures, though fragile and small, exhibit remarkable bravery in their quest for survival. As we reflect on the challenges they face, we will discuss how the lack of parental support, while seemingly harsh, fosters a sense of resilience and self-reliance that is critical for their development. Baby chameleons must rely entirely on their instincts, a process that shapes their future behaviors and interactions with their environment. We will compare this rapid, instinctual development to that of other species, looking at how different animals manage independence at birth, and how these early experiences shape their long-term survival strategies. In the case of chameleons, building their world is not about finding comfort, but about embracing courage, adapting to their environment with quick reflexes, sharp awareness, and the wisdom of nature's design. As the session progresses, We will reflect on the concept of building in a broader sense, asking participants to think about the ways in which we, too, build our worlds, whether in our careers, relationships, or personal lives, often relying on courage and instinct, especially in times of uncertainty. We will also discuss the philosophical implications of this early independence in chameleons, reflecting on how the absence of comfort can encourage growth and strength. Finally, we will wrap up with a group discussion, inviting participants to share thoughts on their own experiences of independence and how the lessons of the baby chameleon, facing the world head-on with only instinct and courage, might inspire them in their own journeys of growth and self-reliance.